Hello and welcome to another 31 Days of Horror 2016 video! After the crazy necrophilia movie we watched last time, I figured, you know what, it's time to lighten things up. Let's get some porno horror, yeah! Okay, so maybe it's kind of more of the same, you know, sex, horror, blood, guts. Yeah. It's Horno. It's horror porno. It's Horno. Yeah, as it says here, it's not a porno film, it's a Horno film. Now, I will come right off and say this is not a porno. It's just sort of a kind of a spoof on things. There is nudity in the film, but there's no you know, hardcore sex. I mean, even the porn sex that is in the film is simulated at best. You know, there's prosthetics, like really bad prosthetics and such used. Yeah, Horno. This is from Sub Rosa here, so you know it's you know, essentially a shot-on-video, direct-to-video type, micro-budget type film. But that being said, it's still kind of enjoyable. Oddly enough, not because of, you know, like, you know, the porn aspects, because like I said, there is some nudity in it, but it's not like, you know, it's not porno. It is not even close. And you know, the film itself is maybe on the level of like YouTube videos. You know, more than this, obviously. This is just me in front of a camera talking. But you know, it's uber low budget. And yeah, so it's from 2009, and it's directed by a guy named Terrence Williams, who really hasn't done a lot. He's one of those guys who sort of dabbles in everything. He's done some acting and directing and writing and cinematography, whatever, all sorts of stuff, right? And before this, he did a series of films that his creations based around a character called La Llorona, something like that. There's a few of them. I think there's like a trilogy or something like that. But honestly, I think this is his crowning achievement, and it's the last thing he's directed. So maybe it wasn't his crowning achievement, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so he made this film in 2009. He also wrote it, and essentially everything you can think of a porn director might do. You know, shot on on direct-to-video handycam in a single location type thing. That's kind of what Horno has going for it. The basis about Horno is there's a porn director, and he has just finished shooting his latest porno, and he goes to his producer and he goes, "I've got a great idea. We're gonna mix horror and porn and make the first Horno film. People love porno, people love horror, they both make money. Imagine how much money we'll make if we put the two together, right?" And so, you know, producer is like, money, go for it. And so he goes off to make a Horno film about a zombie outbreak essentially spread by sodomy. Now, that might be okay. It might have been an okay movie, except this really is micro budget. It is done very, very small cast. Very, very well. I think it's essentially shot in one location, and the cast is essentially a bunch of nobodies who either can't act or act so well that they're able to make it seem like they can't act. The cast is essentially, you got the director, played by Carlos Javier Castillo, who is he's not somebody you're going to know. He's essentially done nothing. But recently he was in The People versus O.J. Simpson, that huge TV series that, you know, winning all the awards and stuff. He played employee number 2 in that. Yeah, that's yeah. But he had been in the you know, some of those previous La Llorona films from Terrence Williams, so obviously that's where the connection there is. There's somebody named Oceana Christopher, who plays one of the I guess one of the porn stars, and she's been in essentially nothing, but more, you know, a couple of other really micro budget horror films. There's Jessalyn Desmond, who again, not somebody you're gonna know, hasn't done much of anything, and I'm gonna sneeze. Yeah, hasn't done much of anything, but is probably one of the more okay. Hasn't done much of anything, but actually has quite a more extensive bio than some of the other ones. But again, mostly, you know, small little parts here and there, and a few, you know, micro budget horror films. We get Antonio Royuela, who is one of the, you know, male porn stars, and again has done absolutely bubkiss, except for, you know, a few micro budget horror films and a little bit parts here and there. But he was also from the previous La Llorona films, so that's where, you know, obviously he knows the group involved here. And then finally, well, I mean, there are other people, but there aren't that many. But the final person of note is Mitchell Roy, who is essentially plays a porn star who is gay but is pretending to try and not be gay, and the whole time he walks around with boxer shorts with his prosthetic penis out. Sometimes it's down, sometimes it's up, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's also from the La Llorona films. He and again did nothing else. His character was definitely one of the highlights of the movie, because he's in the opening porn movie shot, and then he's brought back as a character, and it's just going on about him because apparently he had done, I guess he had done gay porn magazines or something like that. So everybody's like, oh, the girls are all like, oh, you're gay, and he's like, no, I'm not, but he really is. And so it's kind of a funny little thing that's in there, and probably one of the most interesting characters in the film as a result. But yeah, like I was saying, the acting is either so bad or so good they're able to make it seem like it's so bad, because it really does. If you've ever seen one of those, pornos and people are actually trying to act, and it's just like, ding dong, open up the door, oh, the pizza guy, oh no, my towel has fallen, what will I ever do? Cue music, right? Like, it's almost that bad in this film, which kind of made it humorous and fun. So I think it's unintentional but intentional at the same time. I don't think they're very good actors, and they know that, so whatever, they're going with it. They could be, though, because you don't get really listings of this kind of stuff on IMDb. They could be adult film stars for all I know. It's quite possible. Most of them, the women are essentially either half naked or wearing skimpy clothes, or even lingerie for pretty much the entire film. The guys, outside of Mr. Prosthetic Penis hanging out, are essentially just dressed normally, as you would expect. Not that you'd really want to see any of these guys naked anyways, but that's another story for another day. And it's funny because this is a movie about shooting a movie, you kind of get that double thing going on. And the thing that's funny about this is they're shooting a Horno film, but what ends up happening is, because of some bad drugs, there actually are zombies, and they actually do get attacked while they're shooting this movie. And they, at first they're just like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But then they start getting, attacked and eaten and stuff like that. So you get this contrast of the porno film, which has like even worse acting than the regular acting, and the effects are even worse. Like, their zombies are just people like wearing a half mask and sort of being like, whereas the zombies from the outside of this Horno that they're shooting are they actually have makeup on, but it's very basic makeup, and it's say some green and black paint, maybe a couple of pustules and some blood or something running down out of their mouth. So it's very, very, very basic, something that you could literally throw together in half an hour on somebody, at the maybe even less. And they're just like, ugh. And so at least you have that, and there is some blood with that kind of stuff, and some guts, even, and a removal of a member. But yeah, it's funny. I don't know that I'd recommend Horno, but I kind of recommend Horno because if they were serious about the film and making it and trying to make a serious thing, and it turned out this way, but it came across a little bit more serious, then I almost think it's a so bad it's good film. But because I think they're having a little bit of fun with things, you're in on the joke. So that being said, it's just sort of on the edge of that so bad it's good territory. Like, I doubt they spent more than one day shooting this. I think it literally is one location, and that's a hotel, because the opening porno scene is the exterior of a hotel room. They meet at the door. There's a shot of the producer at a desk and stuff, which could be a desk in a hotel room. Then the rest is inside a hotel room and a hotel room bathroom. And then there's shots exterior near garbage, which I believe is in the hotel parking lot. So it literally is all on one location, and there's nothing to it. The editing isn't anything great. The scenes aren't anything really to set up. Most of the time would have been spent setting up the makeup and any of the special effects, blood and stuff like that. But even most of those are just sort of slapped together. Nothing really special. So this is one of those real micro budget. You get your friends together, the people you know, and be like, hey, we're gonna shoot a movie today. Here's what's going on, and that's when they kind of get the script and they're like, okay, and then you just sort of roll with it and you shoot it, right? And that's how Horno comes across. A little tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of fun, stupid, but at the same time, I couldn't help but laugh, and because of that, you know what? I was entertained by it. I shouldn't have been. It was so bad, but because it was so bad, I laughed, and you know what? I didn't get into the film itself, but it was one of those things where you're just kind of, you laugh at it. There isn't a moment in this film where you're just like, oh my god, that is terrible. Why am I watching this? But you do watch it, and you're just like moving on to the next part, and you're just like, oh, I'm still watching this, and you laugh at it because you just laugh at this movie. I mean, it's under an hour long. It is under an hour long. It is so short. But yeah, Horno, like. Yeah, I mean, the concept behind it could make for a decent, well, I wouldn't say a decent, but it could make for an okay horror film. But yeah, they not in this case. Not in this case. This is more like, if you're into the so bad it's good, micro budget, shot on video type thing, then this is for you. If you're looking for something a bit more serious, more mainstream, maybe bigger budgets and stuff like that, this is. I mean, it's called Horno, man. Horno. You kind of know what you're getting into. Well, except for the fact that there really isn't a lot of nudity and sex in it. You would expect a bit more. They could have padded it out with like 15 minutes. Maybe there is. I don't know. Maybe there's an X-rated version of this somewhere, and it's got hardcore scenes spliced into it. I don't know. I doubt it, but I wouldn't be surprised. But either way, that's beside the point. Yeah, Horno, not a good movie. Honestly, it's like a 2 out of 5 at best, and I'm giving it a little bit of an added bump simply because it was funny. It was it was laugh out loud ridiculous, and so I bumped it up a little bit. But in terms of quality, I mean, audio is terrible. It's all over the place. Some people aren't speaking loud enough. Other people are speaking too loud. It's all in camera. So it's like if somebody's further back in the shot and they're talking, obviously there's a big difference in terms of audio values. Again, like I said, special effects are little to none. And if you're looking for the nudity that you from a porno, it's not here. It's I mean, even the director has a part in the film. Like that's how, actually that probably would have been in a different location. It's probably at his house. So there is one possible other location, maybe 2 locations. So though I guess they could have pulled it off in the same location, I don't think it was. I think that was separate, shot at a different time too. But either way, yeah, it's Horno. It's take it or leave it. If you like that kind of stuff, if you're a big fan of what Sub Rosa's put out, then Horno's probably right up your alley. If you're into those big shot on videos, really uber low budgets films, check it out. If that's not your cup of tea, I'm surprised you made it this far in the video, because this is the end. Thanks for watching. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.